Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Concert Junkies, Rob and John. Oh, yeah.
And we're live, guys. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
I'm Hawthorne Yellowcard.
And I'm Charlotte Bayside.
And together we are More to Be Announced.
So how did you guys start the name of the band?
Oh.
Well, go ahead.
We'd always kind of thought it'd be a great way. You hear that name, it's definitely something people would hear, something people would remember. We kind of talked about a bunch of ideas, but that was the one we kept coming back to.
We look on any festival lineup and we've been on them forever, so we can pretty much guarantee we've been on every bill you've ever seen.
Yeah, look at any lineup. You're going to see More to Be Announced on there.
Yeah. that is pretty catchy, though.
It just stuck.
So how did you guys form the band?
So we would go to all these different shows. We would, I would see her, she'd see me, and then finally, after enough of them, kind of went up, struck a conversation, and found that, not just the shows we were at, but we had a lot of musical similarities, and just started jamming together after that, and it really kind of grew from there.
All right, so here starts the hard questions here. Not musically, what do you want to leave as your legacy as a person?
Not musically.
Not music.
I guess the idea that having fun doesn't stop as you grow up.
Yeah, like just life doesn't end when you're young. You keep going, and you can have a good life the whole time. Have fun.
Like, we're not on any timeline. We just want to leave behind the idea nobody else needs to be on a timeline. I mean, that's how we do our music. So,
yeah.
Not one of your own songs, but what song would you say describes you as a person?
Probably say One Day More from Les Mis.
I'm gonna go with Wipeout.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty good.
Yeah.
The original song "Wipeout"?
Yeah.
From like 1960s.
Yeah, all the drums, all the crazy. There's nothing to it. I can't be defined by one song.
Okay. All right, this is always a fun one. 3-day festival. First day, female fronted. Second day, regional. Third day, national. Who are your top 5?
We're not allowed to pick ourselves for all 3 days.
Well, we can put you on.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I'm going Paramore.
I'd love to see Jersey's own MCR headline.
It's not female fronted.
I thought you picked the female fronted, and I was
no 5 each.
Oh, 5 each.
5 each.
Okay. I'd say Joan Jett is another one of the female fronted.
Hailstorm.
Okay.
Louis,
Yeah.
Evanescence.
I'd even throw Pistol Annie's in there.
Sure, why not? Pistol Annie's.
Yeah.
Now regional.
Regional.
Or regional or Jersey regional.
Yeah. We're in Cincinnati right now, or are you talking about in Jersey?
Oh, it doesn't. I mean,
Burnside City.
You can use both.
Boy, trying to think through all the.
Caravan Discordia.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh
my God, there's so many.
Yeah.
We have a lot of friends and bands. That's a hard one.
Yeah.
I would pick just 5.
Can we pass?
Pass.
We'll go back to regional. There we go.
I don't know. I was not prepared for this question.
Hawthorne Heights would be a regional band for here.
Accurate.
That'd be another good one to have.
I don't know. This one's tough.
Yeah. Hi, Danielle.
Yeah. Yay.
Speaking of the devil. All right. If you could go back to the 90s, you could pick 3 items. What would you bring back?
To the 90s.
My butterfly clips, my Tamagotchi, and my jelly shoes.
I thought you were saying from now back to the 90s, not from the 90s.
Oh, I thought
No.
you want 90s items.
Yeah, you could bring.
In the reverse.
Because I know if I could bring my cell phone back to the 90s, I wouldn't get lost going to
Oh my
nearly as
God.
many shows.
Yeah.
I don't even know
such a
how.
huge-
Don't know how I made it to so many venues, like in high school and college. Which you get in the car and you just follow all the roads that say east, and you hope you find a sign at some point.
Google Maps.
Yeah, even just like
Printed MapQuest directions were the worst.
an MP3 player would have been awesome as well.
Yeah.
The number of times like having to do cassette for CDs, or you hit a bump and it skips. Like I do not miss those days whatsoever.
So, out of all your music that you've put out, which is the most emotional one that you put out?
That's gonna be All My Heroes.
Yeah, I would definitely say
All My Heroes Are Old or Dead would definitely be the most emotional one.
yeah. Like that one really. I pour a lot into Divorce Song. You can probably tell that one on the track, but All My Heroes is definitely the most soulful.
So, out of your new releases, which one is your favorite?
Mine is Drug of Choice.
I'm kind of partial to Continuous Positive Airway Pressure, the hidden track, but I think I'd still say All My Heroes as far as favorite on the track. I just love to put on headphones and just kind of let that one wash over me.
I just liked Writing the Bridge for a Drug of Choice. That one I felt really hit.
Yeah.
A lot of all the prescription commercials you see nowadays. It's easier to watch them now when we've learned to make fun of them. People throwing frisbees and acting like nothing's wrong.
It sounds like fun, though.
Yeah, we thought so.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when you're attending a concert, are you side stage, the bar, or what do you call it, in the back?
That depends on the band. Because there are some that I feel like I need to be up close right on top of and see, and other ones I'm just happy to be dancing in the crowd.
Yeah.
Like, AFI, we made our way to the front pretty hard.
I just not only I love just being like in the middle of the crowd, being able to see the full stage, what's going on, like just really getting that full experience. Not only from an artistic perspective, like being able to get the fullest experience, but as an artist, I love watching what they do and seeing how what they're doing is there stuff that can be learned from them while also just so definitely is wherever I can be to get the full show experience is where I want to be.
So what is your biggest pet peeve while you're on stage? Like when you see what the crowds are doing?
Not paying attention.
Yeah, like
I mean, I think that's the same with anyone. Like we work really hard to put our stuff out there. Like if you're coming to see it, we want you to enjoy it. So
yeah, like I don't mind if people are taking pictures or videos on their phone. I'm not gonna
encourage that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like enjoy it and have fun. But yeah, the worst is if
When
you don't want
rocking out playing a big song and then it's silent.
Yeah, if you don't want to be there, that's all right. You know, like you hurt our feelings less. You took care of whatever you needed to do. But if you're there, like we want to be able to connect with you and have you involved, and that's really what this is all about. So we understand if you need to say something to a friend or order a drink or something, but at the same time, we'd really love for you to just be engaged and help be part of the show.
As a patron, have you ever walked out on a show?
No.
There's been one or two times where I won't mention the band specifically, but they took the stage and were in no condition to perform, and I felt
that was when we should have.
I felt bad for that, and it's like, it felt almost disrespect, like being in the audience to have someone take the stage in a way that they couldn't perform. And I didn't want to stay around long enough to hear any more of someone I admired embarrass themselves, in my opinion. But that's the only time. Never, if it's music that I don't necessarily connect with, there's always something that you can learn from watching another performance, another artist. It's just when they cross that line into this is like, I feel bad for you.
So you feel stage presence means everything?
Oh yeah.
Especially the live show. Yeah. Like it just really helps, that connect to the audience.
And I've probably told this story 100 times or more. The only show I just ended up just hanging out with the openers was Hoobastank. We're going way back here. We're going Birch Hill days.
Okay.
We're going way back. This is, I think it was their first CD release or whatever. I ended up hanging out with a band called Blindside. I don't know if they're still a thing anymore, but they've been in a few soundtracks, whatever. That's the only show that I was still in the building, but I wasn't up front or side stage or even backstage. I wasn't anywhere near that. All right, well, here's a question that popped in.
When my fans get the full concert experience?
That's a great question, actually.
So yeah, we actually have a show booked. It's not until October at the moment. We're hoping to line up some sooner ones. But
October 20th is our first officially booked show.
Yeah, out in Hillsboro, Ohio, for the Jeepers Creepers event.
And then we have not gotten that far yet.
Yeah, so I've been working on the live show still. The two of us, we have the working on how to make it the best stage experience, having the lots to be able to play and sing.
We'll be playing our guitars live. Not sure if we're just going to try it, if we're just going to do the album straight through, what songs we're going to pick, how we're going to arrange the set list. That has not been decided yet.
Yeah, so we're really going to see, depends on what the show length is going to be, but we'll be able to react accordingly, make changes on the fly. It's a pretty flexible show.
So who else is on that bill with you?
I know Violet Embers is on there, a great band out of Hillsboro. Not sure, I think they're still adding a couple other spots.
I think we were only the third or fourth band when they asked us.
Yeah.
So not sure who else is on there yet. But they got time.
Do you care what time you play?
No, as long as
No.
we're billed last.
We definitely love to open, but be billed last. But yeah, no, throughout my career play music, you know, I've had a lot of great spots where I was in the first band on stage, and a lot of great spots where, you know, it's 2 a.m. and a lot of the bars cleared out, but the people that have stayed behind are just super enthusiastic, and sometimes playing to a small crowd of people who love it is even more rewarding than playing to a big crowd of people that are just getting there.
And on that comment, Mark, we'll open with "Thank you for being a friend," and we'll sing it directly to you.
Which version?
Golden Girls. Absolutely.
Okay. Okay, well, there's other versions. That's why I was asking.
That's why, but no, it's
The best one.
yeah.
All right, here's a fun one. Last Supper scenario. Who's your 12? Has to have one female present. No family members. It has to be musicians, actors, cartoon characters, anime characters.
Mm.
I always leave family out of it, so
Am
nobody
I
gets
allowed-
pissed off later.
Can I say Charlotte and then 11 John Bon Jovis?
Whatever you want.
I'm just gonna go 12 John Bon Jovis,
Yeah, I guess you count as the female present.
and I'll be the female presence.
Okay.
No, that's a lot, especially for a Last Supper kind of scenario. Considering the amount of influences that I've had
Yeah.
musically, definitely we want to have them around.
11 John Bon Jovis and Julie Andrews.
Okay. But what are you serving?
Tacos.
I would go with the full Amish dinner spread: the mashed potatoes, the ham, the fried chicken. Yeah, a lot of pies. Just mostly pies, actually. Now that I think of it.
All right. Well, if you were cursed and you could only listen to one artist for the rest of your life, who would it be?
And not us.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I've said Bon Jovi a lot of times already, so I'm gonna go with the Struts.
I'll say Bonnie Tyler.
Good one.
If you were stuck in an elevator for 6 hours with one cartoon character, who would it be and why?
Easy, Jabberjaw. He was the drummer of the Neptunes. Just be able to jam out for 6 hours. I don't even know if I'd want him to fix the elevator. What about you?
Basil of Baker Street. He'd find a clever way to get us out of there.
He's a pretty great mouse detective.
Yeah.
If you had to play your entire set just using ukuleles or cover Britney Spears' Toxic, what would you do?
Both of those sounds.
Can we cover an
Great.
entire Britney Spears album with ukuleles?
Yeah, you can see here in our studio, we got the ukulele like right up there. We actually use it quite a bit. We probably
Yeah, I
could
saw
do
it in
our,
the corner.
yeah, we probably could do our whole set with ukulele. But I actually really like Britney Spears' Toxic song. So, yeah. I'd probably rather do our set with the ukulele,
Oh
but I would
yeah, because I
absolutely
think we
enjoy it.
could.
Yeah, I think that would be a fun challenge. But
I like to play divorce song on ukulele.
yeah, really captures.
Hearing it? Are you hearing it?
Yeah, I'm absolutely hearing it now.
Is it electric ukulele or
It actually is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
pretty badass? Okay.
Yeah, we have a couple different ones.
If you were not playing music, what would you be doing with your life?
As much as I could. I know that much.
Yeah. My brain is going to be failing.
Just
I think I'd still be doing backstage stuff. I love, like, if I couldn't play or perform it, find a way to be a part of it.
yeah, even if it weren't music, I'd want to perform some way or another.
Mhm.
But acting, professional wrestling, I don't care. Any way to get this, it's such an outlet that music's the one I love the most. But I don't know if I could go through life without some sort of outlet like that.
What was the first song you heard today?
Today. Oh, it was Lose Control by Missy Elliott.
Mine was Tool's Sober.
All right, good song.
It's not going anywhere.
I walked on when I was in my car earlier.
Yeah,
What was that?
it's
That
on your
was the next one.
playlist.
This was my
Sorry.
random.
Yeah.
So, what is the weirdest thing a fan has done so far?
Listened to our album.
Yeah, I don't know why. Anyway, I don't know why they would do that.
Yeah. Considering we haven't really played out in public yet.
But I definitely do appreciate. We've gotten quite a bit of feedback, which has been great to hear.
I mean, it's weird to us because,
Yeah.
again, we thought we'd be the only two listening to it. So.
But yeah, so as much as I love the feedback, there's always part of my head that's like, really? I'm so sorry. But it's been
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
we're really glad that people are liking the album and enjoying it as much as they are.
So, what exactly is your writing process? Is it skeletons or is it, what do you call it, music first, then lyrics?
In this case, it was titles first.
Yeah, I think the first step is always alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, got to make sure you have enough of that. And then, yeah, we really work.
We work in a weird way.
Yeah, but I think like we're really more like the poetry, the lyrics come through first. We really try to think of the idea and the emotion we want to capture, and then that helps build the words, and then the words kind of help drive the sound of the music. A lot of times we'll put together lyrics to workshop them, and then by the time we're done, one or both of us is hearing the melodies and structures.
So once the topics come together, that also kind of helped drive which sound we were going to go for. Like, we knew the divorce song was going to sound angrier. We knew All My Mom Friends was going to be poppier and
All
more
My
fun.
Heroes was going to be more
that was gonna be
somber.
So,
But
but yeah, it just depended on the topic, which direction we took it, and it kind of built themselves a little bit.
yeah, definitely
As we were going.
started with the words and then put music to it.
Do you record at home at all, or is it strictly mastered, sent out?
A lot of stuff done at home, primarily just because you can get a lot of good equipment nowadays, and that way you can really kind of explore. Earlier, I did a lot of studio stuff, and it was just more confining
Okay.
for me, and not to speak for you.
Now it's better to be on like your own home schedule if you have the equipment to do it.
Yeah, the old days of paying $85 an hour and the clock was ticking, whether you hit writer's block or not, was far too stressful. So I really like the more home, and still we can reach out and have friends of ours that are engineering, work with mixing and send the files.
Yeah.
It's a really neat time in music production compared to how things were 20 years ago.
Do you use Pro Tools, Reaper, or Logic?
Logic.
Do you think it's easier than Pro Tools?
I do, because it was more what we started working with ages back, and it
You're just most familiar with it.
yeah, like I've tried getting into Pro Tools more nowadays, and a lot of friends that love it and live by it. We've done a lot of stuff. A lot of friends of ours are work with studios in Nashville, and most of them swear by it. But for some reason, Logic just seems to be the more natural fit for us.
What is the most embarrassing moment you had when you were on stage?
Power outages.
Yeah, actually, the fact that it's been plural.
Yeah,
should
that's
really-
how outages.
yeah, especially being in the middle of like building up to a really powerful spot, and all of a sudden everything kicks out, and it's just you yelling in a bar to the darkness. It's
That's happened a couple of times.
But isn't it fun yelling to the darkness?
I mean, I do it every night just to try to help get through the day. But it's a little odd when you're expecting
I just
this.
do it because of anxiety.
Well, I feel you on that level. Or then you're as cornfield.
Yep.
At least somebody will listen. All right, so I do this every episode. I'm gonna let you flip it on me. You can ask me anything.
All right.
All right. Keeping on topic with the "We Once Were Young" theme.
Okay.
Music you listen to, is there any of it that you find you can't relate to anymore?
Like the newer stuff that came out, or
Like anything. That's how this project was kind of born.
Yeah, we were listening to some of the older songs and realized that we just couldn't connect to them like we
Like,
used to.
we're grown up now. Everybody was whiny back then, and so were we. But now we have adult things to whine about. So like, is something true like that for you?
Yeah, both either music that you used to listen to that no longer resonates like it used to, or stuff that's coming out today where you listen to it and you're just like, I don't connect with this.
It's probably some of the newer stuff that came out today that I just like. There might be one song or maybe two that resonates, and the rest is just filler.
Yeah.
Like I listen to everything, like literally everything except for like K-pop. Like you could see me at a country show next week. You say concert, I say where. I'm normally at least 36 a year, maybe a little bit more. Depends on what's going on.
That's awesome.
I actually have one this Saturday. I'm Godsmack and Stained, and then the following Wednesday is Snoop Dogg.
That's awesome.
That's
Yeah, that's a good
pretty good
mix.
lineup. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be at PNC Arts Center Saturday and next Wednesday. Then I'm actually going to be at Dingbats on September 5th. Then back at Starland September 13th, 14th.
Ugh, I haven't been to Starland in forever.
If you're doing nothing, October 20th,
Yeah, come out
stop
to
out to
Ohio.
Hillsborough, Ohio. You see this, or you can check out moretobeannounced.com to find more tour dates.
I'm sure we'll put some video on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you come to Jersey, I'll be there.
Okay,
We'll make
we'll
it happen.
set that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to get some tacos for Danielle anyway.
So what about
Yeah.
what you listen to that you consider timeless, has no age?
I'm a huge Korn fan, so the first album.
Oh, yeah.
That's an awesome album.
I mean, I think there's only one album that not every song was, a banger, but I mean, anybody that knows me, I listen to. That is my favorite band of all time.
Agreed.
How has the music scene changed for you as a fan? I mean, there's been a lot of changes and development, especially in the last 20 years. As someone who goes to concerts, how do you feel it's changed?
Definitely the moshing has changed a lot. It is not what it used to be. Crowd surfing is still crowd surfing. That's just the norm. Yeah, pretty much the pit. Like, it's not like it used to be. You used to just push people around. You don't throw elbows. You don't throw hands. You mosh. It's not, what do you call it? Not kung fu
Yeah.
fighting.
Mhm.
Like, sometimes I have to take photos inside the pit, not, what do you call it, behind the gate. I'm saying a little bit behind the pit. You say circle pit, my ass gets the hell out. I get whatever photos I can first, and then I'm out of there. I'm young at heart, but my body says no. I'm
Oh,
not doing it. I'm
I
not
would-
doing it.
I went to when I was in college. I went to a Biohazard concert, and I'm a petite 6'3", 280 at the time, and even I was like, I don't know if I'm making it out of here.
Yeah, I took a lot of elbows to the back of the head at the AFI show in Bogarts. That was a long time ago.
So I'm September 14th is Chelsea Grin and a few others. Yeah, my ass is not going in the pit whatsoever. I will do everything I possibly can to get photos for you guys some other way, even if I have to zoom in and edit and fix everything to. Yeah, no.
What
Yeah,
about
no.
sorry? What about like the performances on stage? Do you feel it's really changed? Like, as far as what the artists do on stage, or how the shows are laid out?
I mean, yeah, it has changed over the years. Like I don't understand. Like, I've been to festivals and stuff. I don't understand using pyrotechnics in the middle of the day. Like, you're just wasting it. Like, I don't remember what I think it was Behemoth. I have nothing bad to say about them. I'm just saying they used pyrotechnics during the day. Like, it didn't really, the effect wasn't there.
Mhm.
Like,
Just making everybody hot for no reason.
pretty much.
Is there more of a reliance on like the showmanship or the audio
Right,
or the
or more
visuals?
technology, yeah.
It really depends on the scene, though. It depends on who's. I mean, like, if you're an underground artist, it's all family. Like, there's no. Everybody comes out to everybody's shows.
Mhm.
But I'm saying, like, I've seen other bands not stay for. Not that they had another show right after. They literally don't stay for any of the performances. They just pack up their stuff and leave.
Oh, that's yeah.
Like I've seen that multiple times.
Along with the changes, are there things you think the industry could be doing better as like media changes? I know there's a lot of deal with streaming versus the old days with CDs.
I'm a CD head. Like, I have a massive collection, and if Danielle is still in here, she's seen it firsthand. But yeah, my big thing is that you're not getting paid for your work on streaming platforms.
Yeah. That seems to be the biggest gripe.
Like, half a penny, not even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Or I mean, you're not getting paid what you deserve. You could have thousands of streams. You end up getting $30, and there's like 5 people in your band. Where's that going to go?
Mhm.
Exactly.
Same thing with. I'm a big believer in not having merch cuts at all either.
Mhm.
It's not everywhere, but it does happen
Okay.
because that's where you make your money.
The first time I heard of a 360 deal, I thought it was a joke.
Stop it.
Like had the label get cuts of absolutely everything, when you're right, that's a way of letting the music continue.
So, what's your feeling on Bion?
Bion?
Yeah, like, you have to. You submit your
Oh.
music to say Blue Ridge, and there's a $75 no refundable $75. You send all your stuff in, and you still might not get a chance to get on.
Yeah, I can understand why, especially as bands fight to get seen and heard. I can see why people would want to resort to that. I don't like it.
That doesn't sound like something I'd want to do.
Yeah, like I could understand the old days of, you're selling tickets to the show with the band, and you get a cut of the tickets, or there's kind of a minimum, but to pay money and not even be guaranteed on the bill, that's insane.
To be honest, it's not just them. Any of the reward shows or anything else, it's a buy on, and you might not get even nominated. Like I looked in to be on the Webseas. Same deal. You had to pay, I think, 100 and something
No.
for maybe a chance.
Nah.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of those old Who's Who scams where you'd pay money to get your name in a book just so you could show people that your name was in the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember those.
Yeah. I don't think like it. I will absolutely agree that it's tougher nowadays to make a name, because there's so many avenues, there's so many people able to have a voice, and which I'm all for. I love the idea that music that we make can be heard anywhere around the world instantly. But at the same time, if everyone can do that, how do you separate yourself? How do you get yourself seen? But I think that really just comes down to, or at least the way I would rather do it is just work hard and put forth a quality, try to build that following the old ways of that instead of just trying some sort of gimmick to get a name out there.
I'm too old.
Do you think it was easier when we were growing up putting flyers out everywhere?
Yes and no.
Easier, but I mean that's just what you did. I mean, spreading it like you would with today's technology just wasn't an option.
Yeah, and at least like the old days of flyer in the parking lot, which I don't miss. But when the fans came out to your shows, like you had people that were hungry to see new music.
Yeah.
And that's something that I don't know if it's just regional or time or something, but I kind of miss those days where people would want to go out just to hear a new band and see something new, and whether they liked it or not, like it was just something different. And there were shows I went to back in the day because I had a flyer on my car and I was like, oh, I'm intrigued. And it was local. It was something to build that way. And it was just a neat experience.
I've had people laugh at me about going to a venue early. I catch every opener I possibly can because you don't know who they are. Like, how many times have you been to a concert? You saw an opener and now they blew up.
Oh yeah, a bunch of times.
Many times, yeah.
Say we've seen a ton of openers that now have become some of our favorite bands.
Yeah, like there's definitely been more than a few times where I've gone to the show and I was almost more blown away by the opener or one of the first few acts.
Definitely happened.
Yeah, like I came here to see this act, but I left just in awe of the person that was on second because I didn't know. And that's a great way to be exposed to new music and find out more.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always great to see those bands go on to do bigger and better things because they absolutely deserve.
You're like, I saw them and I thought they were good then. This is great. Good for them.
Yeah, I was able to go see, what do you call it, Bad Flower before they blew up.
Yeah.
I love Bad Flower.
I have no idea. I'm going to probably say it was at a Pop Evil show. I'm just trying to think.
Okay.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, we didn't know who Dorothy was that one Struts show we went to, and we're like, who is this? She only had one album at the time, and she's one of our favorites. Like, Dorothy's one of our favorite bands now.
Yeah.
We had no idea who she was, just went early to the show, and she was on stage killing it.
Yeah. Like, we went right, like, it's the first note hit and just hooked immediately. And
Like that. We got to find out who that is.
I actually got to see her at it was just it was like an MVP, what do you call it, thing from, I believe, WHA. Like you had to win tickets, like nobody else was allowed in except for whoever won tickets.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know. I knew the name, but I didn't know who she was until I got there, and it was pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
Her voice is ridiculous.
Are there things that you wish hadn't changed? You know, we know that change is inevitable. It's pretty much the whole topic of our latest album. But are there things that you wish were still, with the music scene, or just with music in general?
Ticket pricing.
Oh god, yeah. That's a great answer.
Yeah.
Like I had, what do you call it, only 2 people left on my bucket list that I wanted to see, but I didn't get a chance to. I wasn't planning on spending that. No, I'm not going to spend that on that when they haven't released anything in 10 years.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of times that I went to, say, I went to Warren, or I went to Whitesnake, and they could not hit the freaking notes.
Been there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
I broke on, and others that I will never bother with because you charge too much for what you're putting out.
Like I wanted to see Billy Joel before he was done. It's at Madison Square Garden, so you know what you're getting into.
Mm.
There's no way of getting a $50 ticket.
I've never been.
You'd think with him running a week solid of shows, like they could be a little bit more
Discount night.
open to everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I know it's not all the artists of how much the ticket pricing is. They have no control over that majority of the time. I will support the local scene. I will support the underdog, the up and coming, before I spend a lot of money on $100 and something to not even be front row.
Yeah. I also hate when you think you have a good deal on tickets, and then when you go to check out, and it's 3 times the price.
$30 service fee, $5, whatever fee.
Well,
I'll pay $40 a ticket, and you go to check out, and it's $95 a ticket with fees.
Well, I know ways around that, but we'll get into that after we're off. I'm telling everybody. But yeah, I miss a $10 ticket. I miss the $15 ticket. I miss seeing Slipknot for $10 at Birch Hill, or Seven Dust for $10 at Birch Hill.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, what are the top 3 bands if they come to your area that you're not missing, no matter the cost?
Weirdly enough, the first that comes to mind is 3 Days Grace.
3 Days Grace, yeah.
Like that was one that I was hesitant when they switched the front man, and I forget which it was another example that they were, middle of a lineup that we went to and just blown away. Loved the energy, and have not been disappointed to a single show anytime they come around.
The other one's the Struts.
Yep.
We see them every time, and they're fantastic every time. And me personally, number 3 is Company of Thieves.
Dorothy's another great one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dorothy's another one, yeah. Company of Thieves, I guess we can put as an alternate since they have not been a full band in quite some time. But
yeah, those are because you always I love there's still bands. Yeah, like that's the biggest thing, because there's been some bands I've gone to and I've loved for ages, and like you said, they I don't know if it was an off night or they're just not hitting the notes, and it's almost I leave a little more dejected than when I'm excited to kind of recapture that. And I understand that things happen and there's off nights for everyone, but there's some bands where it's just like I I don't know how you're this consistently good every time, but I know if I plunk my money down, I'm going to get a great show every time.
But here's my thing. If you know that you'd be able to hit that note in the beginning of your set, and I know that's your staple and whatever the case may be, you play it at that point.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
don't wait till halfway through your set and play the song and
Hope for the best.
like a Hail Mary. What do you call it? What do you call it? They're not going to notice. Yeah, bullshit.
We notice.
Mhm.
The fans
I'm
notice.
not saying it was a bad show or anything. I'm just saying in
No,
general, like you have to see.
And there's been a number of acts I've seen that have gotten older where they've changed song or they've changed a key so that way they could still keep energy to it and not botch that. I think that's something as an artist that's a reasonable thing to do. Where if you're like, okay, I can't do that.
That,
But-
yes, but I don't think that's what we're. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was more of saying like that's an opportunity, something that the bands could do
Yeah,
instead
I don't
of
care if
swinging
they
for the
change it.
fence.
It makes sometimes they make it cooler. Sometimes they do a better live version
Yeah,
than what we originally heard. I don't care if they change it as long as
just
make it good. Like
Yeah.
just don't
if we're all there to have a good time and listen to some
don't just
good
stand
music.
up there and act like you don't care because we've seen too much of that.
Yeah.
Bands that just don't look like they care.
Speaking of live versions, what are your top 3 favorite live CDs?
AFI.
Yeah, AFI at Long Beach
Yep.
is number 1 for sure. Bon Jovi at the O2.
I would probably say Queen at Live Aid.
Ooh, yeah,
Yeah.
good one.
All right, mine's going to be a little bit different here. It's definitely Korn Unplugged album. And I'm really not a big fan of live albums at all, but that, I think everybody had a copy of this. The Nirvana live from New York City.
Mhm. Yep. I've got both those CDs.
That, and I believe Alice in Chains had one as well.
Yeah, those all 3 were MTV Unplugged sessions.
Yeah, those are my top 3. That
Yeah.
if you haven't listened to it, you need to.
Yeah, especially on the core. I mean, the whole album is great, but their collab with Amy Lee, and then especially the Robert Smith one,
Yeah,
is still a track I go back to all the time. Love that whole thing start to finish. And if you can actually see if anyone hasn't heard it or seen it, if you can watch the video version, like the staging of the Korn live Unplugged is incredible. The musicians, the masks, the whole 9 yards.
yeah. Fun fact about that. What do you call it? I did actually speak. I actually had Fieldy on here maybe about 2 years ago.
That's awesome.
And he said he freaking hated the what do you call it? The Unplugged.
I could see that.
Funny.
Especially if you're someone that's, and not to speak from, I don't know what he was, but it was such a departure, and there were so many moving pieces to it. Like I often wondered that, compared to going out there and just rocking out, like that clearly had a lot more involved with it, and could it have the same feeling for the band? So that makes sense. Is there something you'd love to see at any show, as someone who's seen so many of these?
Yeah, like what do you look for every time you go?
Yeah.
Well, there's 2 things. I mean, it melts my heart a little bit when you bring a child on stage, or I've been lucky enough because it's been normally a New Jersey show that it happens to. They bring a feature artist on,
Okay.
or not a feature. Say they're on the same bill, but they're not. I mean, they'll have somebody come out and sing a certain song with them.
Yeah, I've seen that a few times.
Okay.
So I was there with Evanescence and Hailstorm when I cannot think of the freaking name of the song right now. It escapes me, but if you look for that song and it says, you know, that it happened at PNC. I've seen, what do you call it? I was just at, it was Rob Zombie and Mudvayne and a few other, and Powerman 5000. What do you call it? Peter from Kiss came out to wish Johnny Five a happy birthday. Like stuff like that. Like you're not expecting it to happen, and it's just a warm feeling, you know. Like
Yeah.
I was there. Haha, you guys weren't. You know, like
I like that.
like that big neener, you weren't there. But you know, like I don't know, like it's been, you know, every show I go to, I don't know what I'm going to expect, except for like certain ones. I'm like, I know. Sometimes iffy of going, you know, like if I know exactly what you're going to play, and how much the ticket is. I mean, but there's only, well, we said there's certain bands that we do not miss. So
yeah. Nope. That's
Yeah.
an answer.
Just want like, especially like keeps you going back time in, time out. That's a
Yeah.
really good point.
Yeah.
Something different.
I wouldn't have really thought about it from that angle.
Yeah.
what's your feeling on, say, a lead singer passes away or leaves the band? Is it still the same band or is it a cover band?
Really
To me, it's a cover band.
And
Yeah.
generally, because I'll even freely admit, like when with 3 Days Grace, for example, when they got the bassist's brother, and I'm like, all right, this is gonna be a shell of, because I listened to them so many other times growing up, and then, but man, that felt like he was there
Yeah.
the
Felt like
whole
he
time.
belonged there.
But then there's ones like Alice in Chains, where how do you replace Lane Staley?
You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, like Queen trying to go on without Freddie Mercury. Like you can't, if they're that iconic,
Although
that
Adam Lambert's doing a phenomenal job.
that notwithstanding.
No, like it's just like you can't duplicate another Linkin Park. You can't.
Right.
It's not like I'm going and I'm going for other reasons, but I'm going to go see Drowning Pool. It's not the same.
Yeah.
That's it. It's not the same. It's exactly that.
And that's why, like, Sublime with Rome, like that makes more sense to me, because at least they're not like they're saying, you know, we've got a new singer. It's not quite the same. So at least they're kind of acknowledging that. Or even Static X was another weird way of handling switching lead singers with Wayne's untimely passing. But at least they didn't just try to pretend that we're just moving on.
I mean, like it's one of those things. Like maybe I'm set in my ways, but I'm just saying in general, it's not the same. Like it doesn't hit right whatsoever.
I'm the same way. I have a hard time listening to a band with a new lead singer.
Yeah, it definitely feels more like a cover band than the original, especially when they're that.
Yeah, what Danielle just said, it's not the same. Like I've seen, I mean, there's I mean, and I think it's hysterical when they're both on the same bill.
I thankfully haven't seen that, but yeah, that would be.
That would be
You've never seen that?
No.
I've seen double duty all the time. Like, what do you call it? What's her name? Dope. I think Dope is, and what do you call Static X on the same bill? Or when we're going way back, what do you call it? Stillwell. That's Fieldy's other band.
Mm-hmm.
Korn was on that bill, so he had to play double duty.
Okay. That makes. I thought like where the lead singer had left and joined another band.
That's what I thought.
And,
yeah.
like
that makes more sense.
That seems more awkward.
Yeah, being on the
yeah.
same bill the same night, have to play 7 or 8 songs on one, then give your throat a rest and go back on for another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well, that makes more. I thought the same thing you did.
Yeah. It's like introducing yourself on stage.
For a second time.
Yeah. So yeah, that would be weird.
You know, costume change. Okay, now I have to get into 50 pounds of makeup and go on.
Yeah. It's probably why you never saw a lot of Slipknot, Stone Sour dual headlining.
It has happened though.
Yeah.
It has happened.
I don't know how physically they were able to do that.
So what was the best advice you were ever given?
Buy low, sell high.
Don't let your gas get below quarter tank.
I probably just always work hard. Like that's been the thing. Like throughout, like whatever it is you want to achieve, work hard at it. And that's
Yeah.
Shortcuts are if there was an easy way to do something, that would just be the way to do something.
My mom always said to go for it. Opportunity's not going to come to you.
So how do you deal with the criticism of, bad comments?
Given that it's such a we as an artist, I'm making art as an expression, and then so if people, whether it's trolling or whatever, if you do art because you just want people to enjoy it, it's a lot easier instead of trying to do it just for response or adulation, at least in my experience.
I always just kind of let the bad ones roll off. I'm like, okay, they're not feeling it. That's fine.
Yeah, so it's
not
like,
for everyone. I have ones that I don't care for either.
Yep.
But I don't let that stuff get to me.
Yeah, it's just like, all right. Thankfully, there's the people
cool,
that
you don't like it. We'll both move on then.
Yeah.
But we haven't had to have words with anyone ever, so
yeah, and that's
it hasn't gotten to that.
You can always tell when they're just trying to get a reaction, because if someone genuinely doesn't like something, they just stop and move on. It's always kind of weird when they need to. They're just trying to engage if they're just trying to get a reaction. But
one last message from Danielle.
We love you, Danielle.
Thank you, Danielle.
Well, before Danielle leaves us here, she's the one that did your CD cover.
Yes.
Absolutely. Wonderful
job. So I want to give her a little shout out on that one.
Oh my God, Danielle, your art is beautiful. We cannot thank you enough for how amazing it looks. We are beyond thrilled with what you came up with.
Exceeds even our wildest expectations. Captures what we were hoping.
It's perfect. It's our whole mood. It's perfect.
So do you have any messages for your fans at this moment?
First and foremost, I'd just say thank you.
Yeah, thanks for all the listens. They've exceeded our expectations.
Yeah, it's humbling to see how many every day that more and more people have seen this, and the number of times someone say like I feel seen for what started off as kind of an odd project is really rewarding. So thank you for all that you've done.
And please come to our shows as we book them. We're hoping to get one a little bit sooner than October on the book soon.
Yep. But we'll definitely be sure to make sure everyone knows, and we'll continue to post on moretobeannounced.com if any updates.
Yeah, but more than anything, we just appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
Makes it that much more rewarding. Keep on working on it.
So is there anything else you would like to plug at this moment? or any shout outs to people.
Also, want to thank Mark Motes.
Yes.
He did the photography for us. If you go on to our website, you'll see we did a full photo shoot in support of the album. Our friend Karen Galiers Hendershot helped us out with a lot of other design and yeah, making sure we were all set up for that.
Show ready.
Danielle again for the wonderful artwork. There's been a lot of very talented. We're very fortunate to have such talented friends that can help make this.
Yeah, quite a
vision
few of our
reality.
friends for some of the inspiration
Yeah.
for these songs as well. I mean, you guys had a lot to do with this.
Yep. And yeah, otherwise our website's moretobeannounced.com. We've got plenty of stuff on there. You can listen to the album on there. We've got links to the other streaming services if you'd rather.
Yeah, it's on
listen to it on
Spotify,
there.
it's on Apple Music. What else?
The whole 9 yards, pretty
Yeah.
much everywhere you can
Anywhere you can find
have it. Yeah, we're trying to make sure it's as available as possible. We really just want people to be able to enjoy what we. Yes, there's
Yes.
merch available on there. There's a shop link where you can go to shop.moretobeannounced.com. We have all sorts of T-shirts, pins, buttons, magnets. Helps us continue this whole project, and yeah. And thank you very much for letting us be on your show.
Yeah, this has been great.
Thank you for coming. So a few more announcements before we call a night a night. If you're not followed to the channel, please do. And I just got accepted to Cameo a couple weeks ago. So if you need a season's greeting, a happy birthday, tell somebody off, I got you. We also have a merch site that is my Spotify, Concert Junkies, Rob & John. Every $5 is going to Junior St. Jude at the moment. And we are on Facebook, same as Concert Junkies, Rob & John YouTube. YouTube is Concert Junkies, Rob & John YouTube. The Twitch is just Concert Rob, and TikTok is just Robert M. Rosenthal. And same thing for Cameo, it is Robert M. Rosenthal. So holiday time is coming, or birthdays, or anything else that you would possibly want me to do. And once again, this will be on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, and probably TikTok later on tonight. I'd like to thank you both and have a great night.
Thank
you so much.